Don't eat my face. That was scary. Hey guys, so today I'm gonna do the first time tag that Louise Sprinkle of Glitter accidentally kind of made up. So I'm gonna tell you guys a lot of my first times. So here we go, and this is Charlie. My first pet. My first pet is not this guy right here, though he is my first dog. My first pet was a pigeon. We used to have pigeons that would visit our house a lot, and we had a canister of peanuts, and we would put the peanuts on the palm of our hands, and our pigeons would stand on the end of our hands and eat all of our peanuts. But that kind of stopped once we got cats, and we kind of just found a lot of feathers. My first CD was Metamorphosis by Hilary Duff. Wasn't it? Wasn't it? You don't know because you weren't alive. Well, you want to listen to some music? Oh! When you see me on the streets, thinking like I turn you off, when you know you think I'm sweet. Charlie's confused by music. No. Why not? Oh. You like it? Do you like Hilary Duff? I like Hilary Duff. I got that CD for Christmas, and I didn't even have a CD player, so I had to play it on my computer. The first concert I ever went to. The first concert I ever went to was with my grandma around Christmas time. I had to wear my Christmas dress, and it was a classical concert. Dog is climbing in my lap. It was a classical concert, and I loved it. And this is Charlie. Why are you in my lap? You are not a lap dog. The first concert that counts is when I went to Fall Out Boy, and my dad brought me. We got free tickets. We put that in the box. It was great. Except Fall Out Boy is really not that great live, but who could pass up a concert? Not me. I would tell you more things, but I can't because there's a dog on me. Doggone it. My first big purchase was right after my first job, and I bought a Zune, which is very much like an iPod, but it was like Microsoft's version of it. It was a white Zune. It cost me a couple $100, but I used it probably for 3 or 4 years until someone bought me an iPod. The first cell phone I ever had. My first cell phone I got in the 8th grade, almost at the end of the year, because my dad needed a reminder to pick me up from school because he didn't always remember to pick me up on Thursdays after math help. But the clause for my cell phone was that I had to share it with my brother. So for a good until junior year of high school, I shared a phone with my brother. My phone was like one of those Nokias that were like this big, and they had just buttons on the front, and you could pocket dial anyone if you didn't lock the phone. The birds are freaking out. My first teddy. This is him. This is Hubbo. Say hi, Hubbo. Disclaimer, he's not the first teddy bear I ever had. I definitely went home from the hospital with some sort of stuffed animal, but since then I have no idea what it is, where it went. But my grandpa Hub, my daddy's dad, he got me this when I was almost 1 year old, maybe one, maybe a little under, nobody really remembers, but I named him Hubbo after my grandpa Hub. And he is my most prized possession. He is in mint condition. I cut off this tag when I was like 7 because I just didn't want him to have a tag. And you could resell him for like probably the same value because he looks exactly the same as he did when I got him. And I love him with my whole heart. And until the day I die, he will probably be my most prized possession. Even if I was a millionaire and I owned millions of dollars worth of high price goods, it would be my most valued possession of the non-living stature. Because like if I had kids, I guess they'd be pretty close to my heart. Because you know, moms love their kids, right? My first friend I made in school was probably preschool. Her name was Madison, and she was a little blonde girl with like a pixie cut, and she also went to dance with me. We did tap and jazz together. We were pretty good friends. I changed schools in kindergarten, and I don't think I ever saw her again. But in preschool, we were besties. My first school crush was also in preschool. His name was Freddie, and I liked him a lot. My first celebrity crush has to be Benjamin McKenzie from the OC. He was my favorite person in the whole world. You know those little bookstores that pop up at school when you're in elementary school? One time they had a book on the bios of the cast of the OC. That's probably like the only book I ever actually wanted that I bought from the bookstore. Because I did not want those Judy Blume books that I bought. I just kind of bought them to make my parents happy and think that I was reading. No. I wanted this OC book. I love Ryan Atwood from the OC. He's beautiful. He was like a tortured soul. A tortured soul gets me every time. Every time. My first boyfriend. So, this doesn't count at all in real life, but we did technically call each other boyfriend and girlfriend, and it lasted for about a week, and it was in summer camp I was probably in like the 3rd grade. But there was this kid named Michael in my summer camp, and he sat next to me on the bus one day, and my friend Tara and I think her cousin sat in the seat across from me, and Michael said he was tired, so he put his head in my lap, and I put my hands on his head, because, well, where did my hands go? I think I was playing with his hair, because, you know, I'm a girl, I like to play with your hair, and Tara was like, "Oh my god, are you guys boyfriend and girlfriend? Oh!" And I was like, "No, I don't like him." And then he was like, "You don't like me, but I like you." And I was like, "You do?" And he was like, "Yeah." And I was like, I like you too." I didn't like him back, but hey, I couldn't hurt his feelings. And then everyone started calling us boyfriend and girlfriend, and then he said I was his girlfriend, and then I went along with it and said I was his boyfriend. What? Then I went along with it and said that he was my boyfriend, and my brother threatened to tell my mom, so I ran home and told my mom that I had a boyfriend. And then for like the next week, everyone forced us to hold hands and kept trying to make us kiss, but I wouldn't kiss him, but they kept making us hug. And then I was like, I'm so done with this fake relationship. And then he moved on to another girl in the group, so I was really special, apparently. So super special, apparently. Just kidding. Well, that was my first boyfriend for you, but it doesn't actually count. My first job was a caddy at a golf course, and it was with a program with my middle school, and so it was with a bunch of other kids I went to school with already, and there were like 2 crews of us. Some of us worked Saturday, some of us worked Sunday, so I worked almost all Sundays except for when I had to work Saturday a couple times, and I made $8 an hour plus tips, so that was really good, and I made better friends with kids I went to school with. And there was this one guy who only wanted me to carry 3 clubs, so I would go out with him and carry 3 clubs, and then someone else would go out with his partner and carry an entire bag. And I was just like, ha, I got 3 clubs. It was a good job. I really liked it. It was fun. And I'd say if you get a chance to be a caddy and you don't mind being out in the hot summer sun, do it. But you probably don't get paid an hourly wage. Just saying. Just saying. This was my first fear. It's absolutely horrifying. It is a man that I called Wheelie Man. It's from a show called The X-Files, and he went invisible, and he went up inside people's butts and then exploded inside their bodies, and they all died, and it was horrible, and I was so scared of him, and they didn't catch him, which is the #1 reason why I was scared of him, because he wasn't behind bars, and that meant he was still out in the world, and that he could catch me, and I was so afraid of him for so many years. I would never have a closet door open, let me just tell you that, and I always check behind the shower curtain. I was so afraid of him. It's not even okay. Why did they let me watch that episode? No. Charlie, what was my first tweet? Charlie just told me that my first tweet was new Twitter account that I'm way less embarrassed of. Side smile. Because this is my second Twitter account. I originally made a Twitter account to follow celebrities because that's what they were for way back when. I made a new Twitter account like a year ago when I realized that my friends were on Twitter and I kind of wanted to follow them, but I didn't want them to know about my account where I just follow celebrities. Ha! Because for some reason I cared. I don't care now. If you guys want to follow my Twitter account, it's down in the down bar. Also, my Instagram is down there. And just make sure you leave me a little note saying that you follow me because you found me here on the YouTubes. So I hope you guys liked my first time video and meeting Charlie because he's very invasive and he loves to be in this video. Make sure you guys follow my links in the down bar. And if this is your first time here, hello and welcome. And I hope that you subscribed and move your face. And I love you guys, and I hope to see you the next time I upload, which should be next week. Bye! You just scared me. I just sound like a valley girl. Gag me with a spoon.